for visiting our campus. I'm involved with student government, and this is it's a rather difficult question. It's sort of related to number 8 and number 9 of the 18 life lessons. My question to you is, how do you motivate your employees or organization members to continue to do work and to continue to go above and beyond? And then my second question, which is sort of related, is how do you go about, or what is the best way of going about conflict resolution when you have a conflict within your own organization or company?
I couldn't hear the
Okay, so the first question was
how do I motivate? I heard that.
Motivate.
Yeah.
Second was conflict resolution, which you write about in your book, okay? How do you go about addressing conflicts in organizations or conflicts among your team?
Well, there are always conflicts if you have smart people. They're arguing, and you want them to vent all these things, and it's healthy. But to answer the first part of the question, first of all, we don't call our people employees. They're associates. We're all together, all right? And I made all of them shareholders so that they're owners of the business, not just employees, And that attitude changes a lot when you own the part of the company. I don't have to fire anyone. They fire them. If they get somebody on the line that is slack or a slacker, they don't want them either, It's hurting their profits. And so I have one of the largest union-free companies in Ohio. All my plants in America are union-free, and we treat people right. And we don't care where they went to school or if they went to college. It's what have you done? What have you done for me? I've had some of the most brilliant people tell me how they fell on their butt. They do all charts and slides, and you get some guy or person not very articulate, they just get results. So, I'm a very results-oriented person, and I don't care what your pedigree is. You get ahead of my company by doing something, and that's part of the culture. They know that, and they have ambitions, and they want to achieve certain things, and we allow those things to happen. As far as conflict resolution, I remember I was having dinner in Germany one night, and we were drinking this wine, and this guy started talking about how this was one of the heaviest bombed areas by the Americans. And the wine, everybody started, and I'm sitting there, and I'm an American, And finally I said, this wine does have a slightly metallic taste. And it kind of broke up the crowd, and we didn't have a conflict any further. But, let people vent and let them talk, because sometimes people are afraid to say things that they ought to tell you about. And, we don't have coats and ties at our company. We're casual. So people feel they can come and talk to you, You're not the boss, with a fancy office. And one time I had a woman come from the factory all the way up to see me, and she said, Mr. Mixon, she said, have you been in the ladies' restroom? I said, no. She says, it's terrible, it's dirty and needs to be fixed up, and I didn't know that, but I had someone else go in the ladies' room, and it was what she said it was, and we fixed it up, but I wouldn't have known that if she had been afraid to come and tell me. So you want to be open to your people. You want to be accessible, and you want to be able to talk to the person that cleans the place all the way up, and don't be uppity, don't be unavailable or unapproachable. And so I think conflicts, I actually think is a good thing, It means they're arguing about something. It's not just blindly saying, let's do that,
And I want to just take a moment and read what he wrote, Mal did, about adversity, because I think it's just, I think it's so poignant. It is easy to manage a company when things are going well. When things become challenging, some managers panic or ignore the problem altogether, hoping it will somehow go away. Instead, one should commonly lead, attack, and fight for solutions. The same principle applies to one's personal challenges. Attack, don't retreat. Do you ever retreat?
Well, you know, if someone pushes me back, I do. But I think positively, and I think about solving problems, and why I don't like the word you can't. And I remember my first week or two on the job, somebody said, "You can't do that." I said, "Don't ever use that word in front of me again. Tell me how long it's going to take, how much money it's going to take, but don't use the word can't, And I just don't like that word. You can't do that. My wife's told me there's a couple of things I can't do, but beyond that, I'm a positive guy. I like people around me that says, "Let's solve this problem. Let's get to the bottom of this."
But we do have to fight for solutions. They just don't fall out.
Well, you're fighting for one now, aren't you?
I'm fighting for one now. That's right, and that's why I'm bringing it up. Because to me it's poignant, okay? And that is they don't fall out of the sky. There aren't people with sage wisdom, okay, who come along and say, "Oh, if you only moved X over here and Y over here, it would all be great." At the end of the day, it's about fighting for solutions.
Well, you have to have the attitude that the reason you're a manager is to solve problems. If you didn't have any problems, hell, you wouldn't need me, So you got to have an attitude, boy, what can I fix today that's going to make my company better? And if you knock off a problem a day, pretty soon you got 300, 250 of them knocked off, and you're a better company. So I don't view problems, everybody has problems,
Mm-hmm.
You have personal problems, you have business problems, you all have problems. The challenge is to solve the problem,
And were you able to create that? I mean, you said that, you were the guy who came and said he found 70 more problems, right? Didn't make your honor roll, okay?
I would love that kind of person. I would love that kind of person.
Yeah.
I got 70 new problems that I didn't know about,
Does he have to have solutions
I probably
too, or
wouldn't
just the
think very
problem?
much of the guy running the department, but I want to know about the problems. I want to fix the problems. I want our company to be better and better. And I don't believe if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Everything can be improved, And so we're always trying to make things better.
There's one up here and one up there.
So Mal, what was your advice to Governor Kasich?
Yeah. Well, John and I are very good friends. I mean, the governor, I should say. And Governor Kasich served on my board for 10 years, and we became very close personal friends. And I think that he's not your normal Republican. He sort of sees what he thinks is right about something, and he does it. And he's not thinking about getting reelected. He's trying to do what he thinks is the best thing. But he's very frustrated by unable to get his budget approved. I think there are 800 amendments in the House alone. And I don't know what's going to come out of the budget, but I know that's very frustrating to him right now. I know he's very happy about working with our mayor on the Cleveland school system. They were making real progress on the schools. He hopes that some of the things we're doing, like giving the mayor authority to do certain things, will be something that will perhaps go into other parts of Ohio, that we can be an example. I think he wants to solve the big city problem of schools. I don't know if I've answered the question, but those are things that are on his mind, I think.
How about Ohio's business climate?
Well, he's proudest of the fact that we have created more jobs. I think we're fourth or fifth state now. We were on the bottom, and almost every word out of John's mouth is jobs and companies. He wants to create more jobs for Ohio, and he feels if we lower our taxes, that we'll be more conducive to people wanting to come here and live and work. And so he's working very hard to make it a state where people are happily employed, and I think that's his number one priority, really. I'll let him speak for himself after this.
Mayor? Let's just do this one first, and then we'll come up here, okay?
Mal, I'd be curious to know what impact on Invacare, both positively and negatively, is the new healthcare law going to have, better known as Obamacare?
The question is the new health care law, the Obamacare, what impact does it have on my company? Well, first of all, I was scared to death about the tax on devices, the medical tax on devices and drugs. It sounds very small, 2.3%, but it's not on profits, it's on sales. And in our case, it would have been over $20 million of new tax. And fortunately, we got our products exempt, and because we sell our products primarily to individuals, not institutions. And we'll probably end up with $1.5 million of new tax from, we have some beds that we do sell to long-term care facilities that are not sold to individuals that would be under that tax. Then the other aspect is what does it mean as for my associates? Well, I went through all the phases of buying insurance, going to HMOs, PPOs, and now I'm self-insured. So I just pay the bills. And I've had a couple of heart transplants that we paid for, actually. And
in your company, you're talking about employees in your company.
And we've got enough employees that if I've tried to keep them healthy, keep the family healthy, give them flu shots, do these things that will keep them healthy. Mm-hmm. But you can have 2 employees or 2 associates that are perfectly healthy and the kids are druggies, you know. You got that bill to deal with. So we're trying to talk about wellness and understand wellness and what we can do. We have a terrible obesity problem in America, but specifically, you know, that law is so complicated. It's like 1,200 pages. I mean, it's more than I've got attention span to read. It's created so many government agencies. I mean, it's unbelievable how much bureaucracy is involved with the new law. But, you know, our attitude is we'll roll with the punches, and if there are more, you know, there's more people going to be insured, but they're young people, and I don't know that means too much. So I'm not sure I get more patients. I'm sorry I can't